legend.
I am legend.
I am legend. Hi everybody, welcome to Pony Stadium here in Stillwater for some USL 2 action as St. Croix Legends take on their neighbors to the north, Manitoba FC. Alongside me is Coach Phil of St. Croix Soccer Club. Good to be back with you, Phil.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Excited for a little USL, little border battle type action. Minnesota versus Canada, US versus Canada. Be kind of fun.
Just had both national anthems played, enjoyed that, and looking forward to this one. Should it be a good game here? Both teams quite strong. See what they can provide for us. A lot of D1 college experience on the Legends side of things. A few St. Thomas players.
Yeah, in addition to that, if I'm not mistaken, we'll actually see a club player as well for the USL side for the Legends. He isn't actually a senior, high school senior, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yes. Jacob Dinzio.
He'll be starting today right here in Stillwater. Should be a good one. Got some former Canada Under-18s national teams players, Whitecaps Academies players, former Guatemalan U20 national team players on the other side. So this won't be no messing around here.
Yeah, apparently.
D1
wow.
players
yeah.
and some national youth players. Looking forward to this. Looks like we are about set.
Looks like Manitoba sitting second with a record of 4-1-2, and St. Croix Legends is sitting fourth with a record of 4-5.
So big battle here, and we are underway. Looks like a back three for Legends. Oh, maybe a four.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of a four-back system for both. 4-3-3 probably for the Legends side, and maybe a 4-4-2 diamond type setup for Manitoba. It looks like Manitoba. Getting stuck on the PSL women's game from the other week.
We did commentate a game here against Manitoba of Minnesota just the other week. Anderson at the center of those center backs. Play the ball into Dinzio, and here he goes, that USL player, and he's getting forward well, and pass just can't find its target. Ball doesn't quite get there, and Eckroth able to pick it up for the Legends. It's going to be fast-paced on this very fast Stillwater High School turf. Eckroth will have to turn back to Morris, and Morris sends it away. Jack Morris, the reserve goalkeeper for Stanford.
Not a bad school to go to.
Not the worst, not at all.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as this game grows what the style and approaches for each team. If a little more possession orientated, it seems like from the get-go for both sides, both kind of searching and poking and prodding, trying to find some sort of advantage somewhere.
These games are very physical. Good level men's league. And chance here early on for the Legends, and blocked and then blocked again really well off the line. It was a good opportunity there for Hasibe Rule of the Legends. Goalkeeper got something on it, and then the defender with the sliding challenge to clear it off the line. Morris sends it back the other way, but good early opportunity, and it was right at the center of it was Dinzio, the Stillwater High School player.
Actually, Hill Murray.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Which is a private school known for their hockey program just down the road. Jacob was also selected for ECNL National Pool, so extremely competitive player on the 04-05 ECNL program. So really a great opportunity for a young kid like him to get in and get involved in some college level soccer. Great for his development, and it's really something that the club's excited to be able to offer, you know, the kids that we find would be a good fit for this stuff to be able to offer this level.
And now Manitoba looking to go on the attack. They've got 3 up here. Ball comes in, well blocked initially. They'll recycle it though. Another opportunity, and Morris with a great save down to his left-hand side. Another chance here, they square it, and it's 1-0. Bit of sloppy defending from the Legacy, leads to a goal for Atorado.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Had a couple opportunities to clear and just weren't quite successful in that endeavor. Good movement from the Manitoba team in the final third there to create that opportunity off the initial ball in. Good block tackle, but not strong enough. Bounced around, squirts out, and we find a little tap in goal.
Atardo formerly played in the French 4th Division.
Scoring for Manitoba FC, number 11, Tyler Adler.
Try and get it in behind, and they win a quick corner. So good off the restart from the Legends.
Yeah, hopefully they don't let that early goal affect them and mentally stay in this game. A little short corner here.
It's driven in low, and goalkeeper is well behind it. Barker, one of the only players at an American college, Louisiana Christian. It's quite a trek from Canada.
Can't say I've ever been there.
As the ball comes onto the field.
Early warning here. I think what he's saying is that that player, I think, impacted that why we had 2 balls on the field, and it was delaying the restart.
Shot is blocked. Denzio trying to slide through. Can't quite do so, but wins his team a throw.
The ball boy on that side's earning his pay today.
Right now, the MIAC Offensive Player of the Year, Telvin Va, is on the bench for the Legacy. Shows some of the depth they've got. Called a couple games involving Telvin Va previously, a very quick player, so interesting to see if we see him. Of Concordia Moorhead.
Oh, interesting.
Very, very fast player. Makes things happen in a Concordia team which often struggles, and still earned himself that accolade. It's a great turn away from trouble by Medina.
It's a good win there.
I think he didn't realize the ball was coming back there and commits the foul, but good work nonetheless from Bloom.
Yeah, based on what I'm looking at that was submitted to me, it is a 4-4-2 for Manitoba and a 4-3-3 for the St. Croix group.
Slipped in behind Dinzio and got one running, waiting in the middle. It's a good ball across, and couldn't quite find its target. And referee calls a foul there. Looks like Dinzio's playing in that number 10 role. In behind the main striker, Donovan. Ball launched in the direction of Dinzio, and be a throw for Legacy. Seems game started physical, unfortunate to give up that early goal.
Yeah, and I mean, in reality, they had one of their own. It was a good look early on, too. So
Yeah,
I definitely
good
would
chance.
think that they wouldn't be too discouraged at this point, even being down 1-0. There's still plenty in this game, and I think we will see a couple more goals from either side before this is all said and done.
A sloppy play and chance to move forward for the Legacy. Turn by Donovan. Dinked out wide for a CB rule, and several waiting in the middle for him. To the byline across and flicked, and oh my goodness, I'm not sure how that's not gone in. It was a fantastic flick and looked like it was going to be tapped into the back post, but just Andrews couldn't quite get to it. But you see the promise there. Good work from a CB rule, and really good ball drilled low across into that danger area.
Yeah, 2 good looks for the Legends thus far. Inch here or there, we have a 2-1 game. It'll be interesting to see Donovan grow into the game a little bit, especially after scoring 23 goals for his college program at the UW Eau Claire this past fall. So I'm sure they're looking for a repeat performance again this fall from him, and I know he's been pretty productive so far in this USL season, so I'm sure they will continue to try to get him involved as much as possible.
Eau Claire is a strong local program, a physical team.
New as well. Through, I think, 2 years so far. I think this is year 3 coming up.
Dinked in behind, looking in the direction of Donovan. Just pushed off it. CB Rule dinks it out wide. Back down the line for him. Again, several coming in toward the middle. Able to get it across, and maybe a chance here, and shot is over. It was a good opportunity there from Andrews. Just not quite able to get his foot over the ball. It was bouncing up. But they're certainly creating early on here.
Yeah. Kevin Andrews, a kid that from Minneapolis that plays out at the University of Central Florida. He's entering his junior season coming up here.
Good composure there from Morris, but he's now caught off his line, and Legends do well to recover it. And they do call the foul that time, as Tardo is fouled, the goal scorer.
Definitely a reach. Probably not a necessary free kick to give up in this space. He is really not posing much of a threat from that far out.
Ball's drilled in. It's a good delivery and a good opportunity as well. Just put over by Garich there.
It's a risk of those unnecessary fouls is they're going to put you in a position to have to defend something that could potentially be more dangerous.
Make sure you're following the left.
Great delivery.
Yes.
They go for the way long one, and it's going to be through everybody and comfortable enough for Barker. Switched across and some space for Manitoba to run into here. It's Bianchi on the far side. They slow it down, drop it back, and it's a really nice step there, and it's been a bright start for Bloom. Been involved quite a bit early on.
Caught in transition here a little bit.
Canty gets the team with this ball. And here's Otardo again. Otardo, and Morris was off his line quickly, closed down all the angles, didn't let himself get chipped either.
Yeah, that all started with that center back picking that ball off and then proceeding up the field, and there was just really no option for him to advance the ball safely. And so as we finally got numbers up the field, we got caught on the counter. So that was really unfortunate from the Legends' perspective, just because that was a really good counterattack and or opportunity, and there just was not enough numbers forward to be able to sustain possession there.
Cannot give the ball away against teams of this quality with these kinds of players in those situations. As header comes in and it's over.
Yeah, I think if anything, Manitoba's proven that they're willing to recover the ball and then advance it as quick as possible into a dangerous space. So I think we will probably continue to see that. There's some good awareness on the transition there from them to start an attack. So I'm curious to see how we progress, especially with the two front. It's going to afford them the ability to have some runners higher up the field upon the turnover.
It's been a lively start. A lot of chances. Oftentimes these men's league games can be pretty closed affairs, pretty tense defensive games. So good to see some early opportunities.
Yeah, you don't necessarily see, the quality of opportunity consistently at the beginning of these games. If anything, especially in the men's game, they do try to feel each other out and see what, where the danger player might be, what the other team might be trying to do from a tactical perspective, and then as the game develops, you start to develop your plan to exploit it. It's a better job there of denying the ability for them to move forward. Hopefully that's something that'll be discussed at halftime is, okay, if we do give up the ball, are we able to force them to play backwards instead of forwards?
Counterattack does look good in transition. Those first couple of passes breaking through that line have been effective for Manitoba. It's a great throw from Morris, nearly to the halfway line.
Absolutely.
Ball is drilled long in the direction of the CB rule, but cannot quite get there.
Yeah, it's a little bit unnecessary too. That back line's moving away. Can we maybe find ball at feet there and try to exploit that?
Don't forget to head down to the Legends gear table to get yourself signed up for our free drawing tonight. We've got a free
Anderson into the middle for a CB rule. He turns.
For a $1 raffle ticket,
Able to
put your
keep
name
it.
in the hat to win that ball. The winners will be announced in the second half. Head down to the Legends stand. Also, you can pick up jersey sticker packs and t-shirts while you're at it.
Here's Bloom.
I did learn that Kevin Andrews, who we talked about earlier, was going to go to UCF, or was going to UCF, as transferring to Madison. So good for him. A little Big Ten action this fall. So, as a Legends player, excited to see him do well this fall. So should be a fun season for him.
Ball's launched long, and Bloom is able to get there. Bloom brings it down really nicely. Oh, and there's a good runner arriving in the middle as well, but pass was well blocked off.
Yeah, too bad he couldn't get over that initial defender, because that could have been dangerous. Again, that quick transition to attack. Again, forward. They're very
Tardo again.
hyper-focused on the forward.
Ball goes inside here. And the toe poke just goes past Tardo in the end, and attack fizzles out. Cabral at the center of that.
I'm not 1,000% sure that the the guidelines that the the Canadian Soccer Federation has put forward, but I've been impressed with Canada's development as a national team over the past couple of years. They really all sat down and said, you know what, this is what we're going to do as a nation. This is what we're going to develop our players. And it's really starting to show from a success perspective, quality perspective. So not to say that Manitoba isn't involved in that, but, you know, maybe they are. And it's starting to bear some fruit for the Canadian national team as well. So curious just from a coaching and directing perspective, what levels sort of have adopted that change and how far down does it go?
Absolutely, and developing players at the lower levels of the game, critical to that. Building up a large base of good players.
Pretty sure Eric Wood is our center today. He's a gentleman who does a lot of assigning for the Minnesota referee community. Also does a lot of Minnesota United 2 games as a linesman. I've seen him out there several times. So high quality officiating tonight.
As always is needed in these men's league games, not easy to officiate. As the shot comes in, might have actually just been a cross, but in any case, it's over everyone.
Interesting. I was fully expecting there to have been a deflection on that with where it ended up.
I thought it was going over the goal.
Yeah, it ended up in a really weird spot.
Maybe caught in two minds there.
Yeah.
Most of these players from Winnipeg. Good movement inside, and they're able to turn it the other way. And here goes Prater on CB Rule. Dinzio. Out toward Bloom, just too much on that from Dinzio.
Prater, from what I understand, is the captain at UW Green Bay. So nice to have some leadership, college program leadership on the field for the team.
Absolutely.
Kind of much like Matty Gaffney with the Legacy Group.
Good tackle there. Nice work from Anderson. This one dinked in behind. It's a CB Rule, and he's able to get there. No foul called. And Manitoba will just be able to clear. The referee will blow his whistle now. It's interesting, the goalkeepers do get some slack on those. It appears that a CB Rule got there first. Goalkeeper came out.
Yeah, there's not much in it. Goalkeeper's going to play the ball. Really no intent there. If anything, probably just putting the referee on notice a little bit by going, oh, you know, I'm kind of milking it a little bit just for the referee to think, give him some pause next time it happens to try to think about it a little bit. It's a play for later.
Just over 20 minutes played, 1-0 for Manitoba. Early goal coming from Attardo.
It's definitely settled down a little bit. The chances have sort of gone away in a way, so.
Yeah, a bit sloppy on defense on both sides really at the start, and both sides got some early chances. Manitoba able to take one of them.
Everybody's kind of cleaned it up and sort of settled in, and now the real game begins.
Here goes Bloom. Dropped back for Constable. Swings it the other way. And here now goes the counter again for Manitoba. It's good defense, but Attardo will look to get onto this. And really good physical defending there. Attardo able to keep it, no foul called, and it's a cross. Chance for 2-0, and really well saved from Morris. Definitely could have. The Legends players were appealing for a free kick. Morris bails them out again.
I think the Manitoba player bailed the Legends team out there. I'm not sure why you're taking a touch. Go ahead and finish that thing first time and head to the corner flag to celebrate.
There's a good chance for Reveco, number 10. That's harder. The goal score has been really bright. Created that chance there. It was a question of a foul in the build-up, definitely.
Well, entertaining game thus far.
Yeah, it's been good. Fast-paced, lots of chances, and a set-piece opportunity here.
Yep, if you're a neutral party in this environment, you're saying, hey, come out, seeing a couple chances either side. Could be a 3-2 game if everything bounced the right way.
Constable delivers it in. Headed clear.
Yeah, just not quite far enough.
And here goes Reveco. Attardo's ahead of him. And they get it out wide to Attardo on the right-hand side. It's Attardo. Shot comes in. Morris saved again. It's been solid. Jack Morris. Nothing he could do about the goal, but 3 very high-quality saves since then.
Hey, it's done really well. I think a lot of things I would expect him to make.
And Ginzio did really well there, and it was a really well-timed tackle to...
Incredible sponsors who makes the Legends team possible. We want to extend a giant thank you to Machining Technology, our title jersey sponsor for the 2nd consecutive year. Based in Brooklyn Park, Machining Technology is an ISO-certified company, rapidly growing and dedicated...
It's a good job by Jacob to head to goal there. He's really forcing that defender in a situation where he's going to have to make a challenge, and there's only 2 results there, PK or a corner, really.
Good delivery and flicked away. And it'll be a throw-in this time. Go to flicked header from Garich. University of Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Just kidding.
Can't say it.
Saskatchewan, you got it. Oh.
And header comes in, and it's just right at the goalkeeper in the end. It's interesting how quickly Manitoba always try and move out of the back.
Yeah, they're really dangerous on the transition. They've done a really nice job. I'm very impressed with their commitment to that. And it's shown with the chances that they've created.
Looks like it's a 3 in possession, maybe, for the Legends.
Yeah, based on the lineup that was presented to me, it's a 4-3-3 for them. And, you know, based on the way that they have 2 wingers, it's definitely the case. Jacob playing more of the 10, and you have, it's a Constable and Prater playing in the sort of the more reserved roles. Although it looks like Prater does more of the 8 work up and down a bit more.
Constable just sitting in front of that back 4.
In a way, yes. Just sort of a slow build here for Manitoba. Searching, they've really put players in advanced positions. I mean, we're looking across the line there, and you've got, 4-5 and, pretty high in advanced positions. So it's really, can we find the right spot and then break and then get those players in and behind?
Seems to have some very strong technical players at the back as well. Very comfortable moving the ball around with just 2-3 of them. Played all the way back to Barker. Finally goes long and finds his man.
Bit fortunate there. Bit fortunate.
Yeah, definitely wasn't the cleanest long ball.
I don't know if that was the intention.
Finds way to a CB rule. Well brought down from Bloom, and back to Bloom now. Ginzio's making the head ahead. They tow it into the path of Donovan. Here goes Donovan, fouled.
Good. That's why you run across the defender.
Good work there from Donovan. And this is a good position if they've got a left footer available.
Ginzio is, but we'll see if they put this in the hands of the kid, or if they put up, a
They've
more.
gone a little wider here, so probably across.
Yeah.
Thought it was a bit more central, but
A little right-footed action here.
yeah, just trying to dink it towards that football field 10-yard line. A little closer even. Constable with the cross. Flicked away. Corner for Legends, who down 1-0, played well, have created some chances, and just have to be very wary of that counterattack. Attardo's looked very dangerous continually along with Reveco. Good partially clear there. Bloom. CB Rule. Bloom again. Good deep cross from Bloom, just out of play.
Yeah, they've sort of lost a little bit of the luster that they had in the first 5 to 10 minutes, just in terms of the types of opportunities that they've created. Seems like Manitoba's sort of figured it out a little bit to sort of start to deny some of those opportunities for them. We definitely don't see that wide space getting in and being dangerous behind, versus now they're kind of settling for crosses from outside the box a little bit more.
Neither side has gone to their bench yet, letting the starters play 30 minutes. Is there a supplement in this game, Phil?
That's a great question.
We'll find out.
We will find out.
There's a fourth official down there, so I actually wouldn't be super surprised.
I'm going to guess that there is, just based on
5
the
maybe.
USL. There's going to have a certain number of substitution moments, and then probably 7 subs, maybe 5 moments, 7 subs would be my guess. "19 is definitely the most experienced player on the Manitoba side.
Looks a little bit older from where we are as well.
28, and he had played with the under-18 Canadian national team, so.
Certainly knows what he's doing, and no chance here for Manitoba. Flicked across, nobody there. It was good work from Cabral to try and get it in. Garcia, the 28-year-old, formerly of the U18 Canadian national team, as you said. Playing in what looks to be that 6th role. Ball's really well won back there by Prater, but taken off him, and Manitoba will look to bring it the other way on the counter. And toward Reveco, but can't get onto it. Ginzio tries to bring it away, but Cabral gets it back, and shot comes in, and it's deflected, and simple enough for Morris.
Prater, Hudson, Wisconsin native, just on the other side of the river from where we sit right now. Yeah, the game has definitely changed and evolved from where it was the first 10 minutes over the past 20.
Bit chaotic start.
Yeah, just, Manitoba was finding a lot of opportunity on the counter and was able to get numbers for it, creating some chances, and the Legends team was definitely way more successful on this right wing, and sort of both groups have made a slight adjustment to sort of try to deny those opportunities. So now it's who can find the next thing? What's the next thing that's going to break the opponent down?
It's a fantastic turn from Andrews. And
Good
here
pace,
he goes
too.
Still. It's still Andrews to the left-hand side this time. Maybe tried to take on one too many there.
Go inside. Should have cut inside and had a go.
Throw goes the way of the Legacy.
I did confirm that it's 7 substitutions, but it's actually 3 moments, not 5.
So got to be somewhat strategic with those.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan brings it under control. And Donovan is taken down. Another good set piece opportunity.
Yeah, we'll see. 10 minutes remaining. Can the Legends find something here? Can they find a set piece opportunity? Can they find something in the run and play? You know, can we figure out a way to go into halftime 1-1 or better?
Ball's dinked in, and it was going toward Bloom, but flicked away, and they will settle for a corner.
It's not the worst result off of a set piece.
Probably not. Not the best delivery from Constable. His first couple had been a little bit deeper, beating that first man. And I'll get another shot at it, though, with this corner from the right-hand side. Delivered in, flicked away. Bloom is out to it.
Got to beat that first man with your service. Can't beat that first man, then you guys are going to struggle on your set pieces all evening. So a little adjustment needs to be made to have some success in the corners going forward here.
Ackroth long ball looking toward Bloom, and it's a good one. It's flicked on, and only be a throw in there as it's sent well onto that first field by Barker. Clever play, actually.
One of our teams are training over there. I wonder if they'll notice that that doesn't belong there.
That was clever. That was good. Here goes the CB rule down the right-hand side again. Chance to get across, and does.
There we
away,
go.
only as far as Constable.
That was working well early on, and nice to see that come back a little bit for them.
Dinked in, and it's
Great
in towards
ball.
Ginzio, and he just couldn't get anything on the header. Was well defended and just glanced it into the arms of the goalkeeper in the end.
It's good stuff by Jacob. You know, he's really the 10 role, and part of that responsibility is the support of the 9 or the center forward. And in a lot of cases, sometimes that's running past him, linking up, getting close together. So it's nice to see Jacob moving into the attack there and almost like a second striker in that situation to try to help finish that long ball.
Good work there from Prater.
Legends have some substitutes warming up. Might just be more for show than anything else. Not sure they'll make a change this half.
Could use one of the moments at halftime, potentially.
Oh, rolled over the line.
Still be a corner. But they've got some options off the bench, as we mentioned before. Telvin Va, the MIAC Offensive Player of the Year, former All-American from Gustavus as well. All-MIAC Carleton player.
Sounds like an awful resume. I definitely think he'll have some say in this game at some point in time.
Who's that?
Telvin.
Telvin Va, Player of the Year out of Concordia. With Donovan out there probably occupying that striker role. 23 goals for Eau Claire, as you said. So some competition up front there. May see them both out there. Who knows? Wouldn't be surprised to see Vaso in a wide roll. They get it out wide here. Chance here for Manitoba, and it's a good tackle from Bloom. Did enough there. Little cross comes in, and it's a chance, and it's another goal. Poor defending. Didn't track the runner there, and I think that's a Tardo again.
Manitoba continues to show that they're pretty no-nonsense when it is to going forward and attacking. Very much extremely positive with every pass, committing a lot of numbers forward, and they seem to continue to make the right choices when they're in the final third. So it was a great ball, great run, quality finish all around.
Good finish from Tardo. He wasn't tracked as he just darted in from the far side. Glancing header. Not much Morris could do.
Good change of pace from him as well. You know, it's really hard. The hardest part, obviously, is to arrive at the right moment. So you're taking into consideration the service, the pace of the service, the distance, and then trying to get to your spot in time. And he couldn't have timed that any better from a acceleration pace perspective to get into that right spot.
Number 11, Tyler, Adam, FC Manitoba.
I have not seen the other Canadian USL team play, but they are definitely showing today why those two occupy the top of the table currently.
Good quality, very quick on that counterattack. Legends have looked good for large parts of this half, created some chances, had some good possession. Haven't created anything too clear-cut except for that early chance for a CB rule, but
that was a shockingly good reception from the ball boy there from behind the bench. Took that ball straight out of the air with his foot. The Manitoba bench clapped for him. Well, you got 4 or 5 minutes to start thinking about what the adjustments are going to be. What's the system of play going to look like in the second half? Are there player changes that are necessary to start to develop something?
It's well won there, and Manitoba looking to go forward in transition again, and it's good defending this time.
Yeah. It's a good angle of approach, way to get your body between the forward and the ball. It was good all around.
Just about 4 minutes plus any stoppage time left. Bit short on that pass from Bloom, and finds way to Otardo. Back to him now, a couple runners ahead. It's Reveco, and no one was that far forward. And that will be a goal kick in the end.
Kids and players, make sure you're heading down to the gate down there to participate in the halftime fun.
One of those quintessential Minnesota summer evenings tonight.
Absolutely, and now good chance here. Can they make it 2-1? Yes, they can. It's a really good finish from Andrews, who's looked bright, and that's a huge goal right on the stroke of halftime.
Yeah, really out of nothing, to be honest. Good ball through, sort of caught the Manitoba team off guard. I don't think they were really prepared for that. Great little run, and honestly, a really quality finish. That's exactly what the Legends needed here, because you don't really want to go into halftime down 2-0, trying to figure out what you're going to do next. Now 2-1, it changes the conversation a little bit.
Huge goal, that. 2-0, 2-1, very different, and must change things for our coach, as you'd imagine that would have had to chase the game a bit more in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably a little bit more aggressive in your thought process. When you're going into halftime, you're like, okay, we need to do something about this. And so your thought process is probably a little bit more aggressive. But now that you're only one goal away from tying the game up, you're probably dialing that aggression back on what you're thinking about what your options are going to be. And they're probably just slightly more conservative. Do we really need to change much? Are we chugging along in the direction that we really want to be?
Oh, shouts for a handball there. The Manitoba players are absolutely livid. It was deflected, and so that might have been the referee's thinking, but the arm did look like it was away from the body.
Yeah, that was... I don't know for sure because I'm not in yellow today, so I couldn't say with any level of certainty what I would have saw, but that looked fairly straightforward, I thought, but maybe I'm incorrect.
Always the toughest for referees is a handball that could be a penalty.
There is a significant amount of thought that goes into whether or not it's a handball these days. Things have just changed so much, and it's hard for the average fan to understand sometimes what really goes into the thought process of calling that or not.
There might be no rule in sports that's less clear or obvious to fans than the handball rule for especially a defensive handball.
It's definitely the case. You know, they're trying to make offsides that way too with all of the different variables, but thankfully it hasn't quite progressed to the level of a handball decision.
It's interesting as well because if in the attacking phase, if a player handles the ball and scores, any touch on the hand is considered an offense, but the bar is much higher for it to be a penalty on the other end.
Yeah, I mean, in order for someone to award a penalty, you really have to be like, yep, these 3-4 things, we check the boxes, it qualifies. You know, just simply the ball touching the hand is just typically not enough these days for someone to be like, yes, I'm going to basically award the other team, you know, a 90% chance of scoring.
Manitoba will feel hard done by that as we are into first half stoppage time.
They almost had a little significant error down there between the goalkeeper and their center back. Not great communication. Goalkeeper ended up having to kick the ball out of bounds. So we'll see how that goes over the course of the half. Is there some way that we can create a little bit of pressure to cause some more confusion like that?
There's Prater. And that will be a foul. So one last chance to swing it in here.
Yeah, that stoppage time has to be creeping down.
Dink toward the back post, toward Bloom. Bloom gets the header on it, and it comes down and just could not get his foot over the ball there. It was Donovan. It was bouncing quite high. Did well to do as well as he did.
Slow to join. We needed a couple more numbers in the box upon that opportunity. Thankfully, we were able to pick him out, but there wasn't really that many choices to pick from.
Referee still keeping this half going.
Yeah, I'm curious. Figured a minute probably at the most. I didn't see any signal, so I'm not 100% sure exactly what he determined.
3 goals, I suppose. Yeah, about a minute, maybe a bit over for that.
2 maybe, but seems a bit excessive.
On we go. Ball is drilled in, and it's another chance for Attardo, and he gets there. And eventually they're able to clear it.
That ball has been extremely dangerous for them. We have not dealt with that very well.
As we head into halftime, and Attardo is disappointed with himself that he didn't complete his hat trick in the first half. But he has 2. Legends have 1. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Legend.
I am Legend.
I am Legend.
finally able to get back into it with a goal from Kevin Andrews. What do you think the Legends need to do to get that second goal and to maintain this very potent Manitoba attack, Phil?
Yeah, I definitely think it involves stopping that counterattack. I think that's the biggest focus, is trying to, how do we apply pressure? If we are going to turn the ball over, there's a turnover that's imminent, how do we either apply immediate pressure to try to deny them to advancing the ball, or if we're going to drop off, then we do it quickly and with considerable amount of organization. Then from there, I think we continue to move in the way that we've been doing offensively. I think we've done a good job. We've created some chances. So, can we get Donovan involved in the attack a little bit more? But I think it's there for them.
This foul's committed, and it's going to be the first yellow card.
Yellow card caution issued. Manitoba FC is number 23. Camden Tom.
So first yellow card of the game to Camden Tommy, the right-sided winger for Manitoba. Bit of a late challenge. Tardo into the path of Reveco, but taken off him. Here's Prater. Looked really bright in the first half and swings this one across toward Bloom, who heads it on. Gets it to a CB Rule, sorry. Here's Bloom. Constable moving the ball around here early on, and look how deep and compact that Manitoba team are. It's a great flick, though. Ball comes in, shouts for a handball, and this time they do point to the spot. Penalty is called. Really good early opportunity here to make it 2-2. It was good work in behind there. And it looks like Gibbons, who just came onto the pitch, actually. So they did make a sub, it appears. Couldn't see the hand from where we were just because it was blocked out.
Yeah, not 1,000% sure on that one. Referee was pretty certain straight away, so he must have saw what he wanted to see.
Kevin Andrews here to make it 2-2. And it's saved. Rebound launched over by Donovan. And it remains 2-1. It was a good stop by Barker. Good height for him, you'd have to say.
Yeah, it's great. Good hand on the ball. Picked that thing right out of the air. So I'm guessing the Manitoba team is going to feel a little vindicated that they were a little hard done and they were able to make a save and continue to preserve that scoreline.
Donovan on the follow-up just got under it too much, was trying to get it into the roof of that net over the goalkeeper, who was still down, but just a little bit too much underneath it.
It was odd for the Manitoba team because they really haven't sat in like that, the entire first half. So that was an interesting approach, something they must have talked about at halftime. I was surprised to see that level of compactness from them.
Yeah, they've liked to play expansive, get the ball into those dangerous front players that they've got.
Yeah, their center strikers had not been that deep at all. The two front had not been that deep at all in the first half. So it's interesting to change. They're almost inviting the pressure, and they almost paid for it. So I am a bit surprised at the initial approach of deciding to drop so deep out of possession.
They do seem to like their counterattacks quite a bit. Here's Andrews. Oh, that's great control and play there. Really nice from Gibbons. Send it long toward a CB rule, and he looks like he just ran out on him.
I know Gibbons is recently, within the last year or two, graduated Gustavus, maybe in this past season. Had a really, really strong career at GAC. Helped that team be extremely successful over the last couple of years. So it brings a nice level of experience.
Always near the top of the MIAC this year. They were the regular season champions. Commentated the game where they clinched that.
Did they clinch at McAllister then?
They did, yeah. And McAllister could have actually gotten the regular season championship that day.
Interesting.
1-0.
So 1 versus 2?
I think Mac might have even been 3 at the time, but with a win, they'd have jumped to 1.
Wow.
Header comes back in, shouts for another penalty. Referee uninterested. Don't know if they're saying the ball went out of play previously.
Well, let's see where they
Or
spot it.
Offside.
Looks like
a goal kick to me, yeah.
The referee was really far down on the line, so I'm going to guess it crossed over and went out for a goal kick, is what they're saying. Offsides, the ball wasn't deep enough based upon the referee's positioning.
Good work there from CB Rule. Gets the block. He's looks really bright whenever he gets on the ball.
Yeah, him and Andrews have really been really dangerous when they've been able to contribute.
Seems that Donovan's been a bit isolated up there at times.
Yeah, they're really trying to deny the ball into him.
Ball goes too far there. Legends can only sub on 2 more occasions for 6 more subs.
It's a good tackle.
Riveco, and it's another good tackle there. Really good work. That time it was Anderson. Goes all the way across to Bloom. In some space here.
Got some
Runners on the
numbers.
far side. They go near side to Donovan. And Donovan wins his team a throw. And Donovan's come up hobbling from that exchange.
Nah, he'll be all right. Just milking it a little bit. Again, putting on a little show.
Long throw. And in it goes. Header flicked on and over. Coaches down there irritated that the ball wasn't flicked into a dangerous area instead of being flicked toward the goal.
Something I just noticed is look like there's coned out technical areas now. I'm not sure that the coaching staff was an issue in the first half, but I don't remember seeing those down on the ground previously, so maybe the 4th official went out and put those down.
Well, it does need something to do, doesn't he, the 4th official? I was just watching him down there, and he is just standing there. I don't know if he has one of those boards for the subs.
No, that wouldn't be at this level. Would be fun, though.
Oh, that's good work, and it's just too far on the cross. It was really good skill from Andrews. Just overcooked the cross by a good ways.
Yeah, just not a great technique on that there. Guessing it was probably his weaker foot. But I guess I don't know for sure, to be honest.
I think it was. He took the penalty with his right foot.
Oh, okay, I recognize the change now. I didn't realize that Dinzio had stepped off. I didn't hear the substitution to start the second half, so Gibbons came into that 10 role for Dinzio.
Good 45 minutes from Dinzio. Made an impact in the game for sure. The 17-year-old from Stillwater.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can ask of him, right? Is, you know, come in and get your experience and contribute as best you can. And for him, a lot of it's going to be a little bit of a learning experience too.
Flicked on and back into the path of Andrews here, into the penalty area. Andrews cuts inside, still Andrews. Tried to get it all the way across, but they were well covering Bloom. Few still in though, and they'll loft it back in. Donovan, no call. Here's some of our St. Croix SC boys looking for a decision from the referee.
So I'm learning a bit as we go here, and appreciate those of you that are listening that are sharing and pointing out things to me. So apparently halftime is not counted as a moment to sub. So although they only have 6 remaining substitutions, they still have 3 moments.
So it's just a matter of how many times you can actually stop the game. That makes actually more sense.
And it does make sense if you think about it from the perspective of they're not counting the kickoff in the first half as a moment, right?
Right.
So why would you count the kickoff in the second half as a moment? So that makes sense.
I think 7's a good number. Allows for some flexibility.
They've definitely been a little bit more direct in the second half. I'm assuming that the coaching staff has seen something that they like and they want to try to exploit. So they're definitely kind of looking up a bit more, looking a little further down the field to find some different options.
They have been able to get at the back line of this Manitoba team. They've been doing it all game. From the first few minutes, they were creating opportunities for themselves. So, getting those forwards at that back line has been effective.
Yeah, I mean, that's, it's very true. They have proven they haven't been that strong.
Constable here. Gets into the path of Andrews. Arriving on the far side here. Cross comes in. Back out to Constable, who couldn't quite get the volley on target. It was a tricky one to attempt.
Bit ambitious, but hey, confidence, take it on. Why not? You never know. We saw in the U.S. men's national team game the other night, I think it was Brian Reynolds going in and having a crack from 25 out and hit a screamer.
There's Hillis there down the left-hand side, St. Olaf player. Name I recognize as well, Hillis. I commentated game St. Olaf McAllister. He was excellent in that game as the Olies reached the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament, where they fell to their MIAC rivals, Gustavus.
Manitoba not as crisp in the second half, especially in that transition.
Shooting chance, and it's blocked. Manitoba looking to bring it the other way. Well blocked out, but now Manitoba have a 3v3 here if they can take advantage. Here goes Attardo. Cuts it back. And it's really well blocked out.
Again, still not very clean on that transitions situation there. They're very fortunate that ball, that we weren't able to bring that down on the chest there. So it's, kind of interesting. They're struggling a little bit in the middle third.
Instagram and follow St. Croix Legends Instagram page. Keep up to date on everything going on with the Legends Squad.
Ball goes inside. And Morris will collect. Been a good start to the second half from the Legends. They did miss a penalty, but have been definitely the side on the attack who've had the bulk of the possession.
Yeah, again, interesting. I feel like the Manitoba team has decided to sort of drop and sit and try to, find the moments to try to recover the ball, which...
Ball is in toward a CB Rule, and he does get a touch, but it just brings it into the hands of Barker there.
Yeah, it's definitely clearly something they talked about at halftime. Both teams have made some significant adjustments to what they're doing. Legends are looking to be a little bit more direct, and Manitoba was, I think they're trying to lean more on that counterattack by sitting back a little bit more, but it seemed like when they had numbers up a little bit higher, especially out of possession, that seemed to be a little bit more successful for them. So it's kind of an interesting approach. They're definitely sitting on this 2-1 a little bit, and I think that will ultimately might not end well for them just because of the amount of pressure the Legends are getting. They are close. These opportunities that they're getting in these spaces, they are just half inch here, half inch there, a little speedier run here, a little better movement there, and they could be creating a little bit more. Yeah, but it's significantly noticeable on the comfort level of the Legends on the ball in the second half. They have a lot more room to operate than they did previously.
How many players they've got past the halfway line right now? That's a good turn from... Just poked away. It was Andrews there. And that one is out of play. A bit of a misstep there from Manitoba. We're looking just a little bit shakier in the last few minutes.
Yeah, seems to be like a little bit of lack of concentration here. I'm not sure what's going on with them. Fatigue, potentially. It's not really clear what the issue is, but there has been a significant change the last, like you said, 5 or so minutes.
Just past the hour mark, we'll see if either team goes to their bench.
Yeah, it tends to be the time you start to have those conversations. 65th, 60th, or 70th minute, you start to talk and say, hey, you know, what's our plan here based on where we're at? What's the next step? What's the play? Change of formation. We get a couple substitutions in. Like, what are we looking at here?
Flicked on, but easily dealt with the attacks. Just not quite going as well for Manitoba in the second half. Morris forced into a bit of a rushed clearance there. Andrews. Launch forward toward Donovan. And they will call that one against Donovan.
Yeah, it's kind of a situation that you put yourself in. That center back is smart. He's looking for that contact, right? You know, and Donovan, although didn't really do anything super malicious from that regard, he just kind of got baited into extending that arm, and that center back's like, yep, that's what I was looking for, so I'm going to go down. Makes his life a lot easier.
Manitoba moving the ball a little bit better here into the attacking third. Here goes Reveco. Well taken off it, though. Good work from Prater.
A little crisper by them. That's kind of what we were seeing in the first half a little bit more. No.
Bit of a heavy tackle there.
I actually don't think there was any contact, to be honest.
Oh.
He actually, I thought he jumped out of the challenge, so I'm a bit surprised. I think the yellow card was a bit harsh.
Yellow card for Eric Bloom, who's been overall quite bright. from that right back roll.
Yellow card caution issued to the Legends, Eric Boone.
The defender definitely, I think, had a little impact on the referee's decision there.
Sloppy pass, and it's found its way to Andrews. 3 in this attack. One of them is Prater. Prater, Andrews. Andrews will turn. Andrews shoots. Deflected and wide. It'll be a corner.
That looked like it went off the hand.
Subs getting warmed up for the Legends. Cross comes in. It's a better delivery this time. Just beats everybody in the end. Constable able to pick it up. Sends it back in. It's Donovan. Just unable to get it down for a shot there. And still fighting for it. Bit of chaos in there. Another ball comes across the field. No interference.
Yeah, where did that come from?
That was quite random. And eventually poked away after a bit of chaos in the Manitoba penalty area.
And that came cooking across the field. It wasn't like it slowly bounced out there.
It's a really good composed header from Hillis back to Morris. Hillis, 19 years old, one of the younger players out here. No call there, as Gibbons was looking for one.
It's good, strong play. Defender attacked the ball. Fortunately for Gibbons, it wasn't really within his peripheral to see that that challenge was coming, so he sort of ended up on the wrong side of it.
Here is Gibbons now. Good ball from CB Rule. Gibbons can't quite skip the challenge, but finds its way back to Andrews. And that'll find its way out of play.
Gibbons expressing his disdain for the situation that had happened just a moment ago to him.
Manitoba can be really quick with the ball at their feet.
Yeah, when they release it immediately, they do a great job with it. They, it's when they get held on or think for a little too long, they struggle a bit more. That's where their turnovers tend to come from. But when they have the intent to release the ball immediately, they move off of it fairly well, and it causes us quite a bit of problem.
Here goes Reveco. Here's a Tardo offside. "22 minutes to play."
I think the Legends are going to probably stay put a little bit, stay a little bit patient. I think that they've grown into the game very well, so I think nothing drastic needs to change. They just need to find that right bounce or that right pass, and they can claim themselves a second goal and be tied up here and try to go for a third.
Good flick from a CB Rule into the path of Prater. Back toward Prater now, asking a bit too much of him, and it was good defensive cover there from Sepulvedo.
Yeah, good first touch there to push that ball past him.
Andrews. Miscommunication there between Andrews and Hillis, I believe.
Yeah, but even if he makes that run, I don't think he gets on the end of it. At least not in a good position to be able to attack the goal. He's going to be facing that corner flag. keep that ball, maybe dribble pass, come back to him later if you need to.
A little sloppy there from Manitoba.
Again, I think they can be more patient. Get a little bit antsy and some of the mistakes are made or the turnovers are made. Just, this is fine for now. Keep searching. Great first touch.
Oh, it's a nice little back heel. And it's a cross there from Gibbons. No one could quite get on the end of it. And then still kept in play. Dinked across and missed. And then Andrews got onto it before he realized it was there. They played the advantage, though. Constable tried to slide it through for a CB rule and could not find him.
That center back was going for the spectacular there and almost whiffed on it and almost cost his team a goal instead of just doing a simple clearance.
Yeah, you'd think that'd have been a header there, just a little stooping header.
Yeah, even if you open foot and you just clear it, the scissors kick type look is not quite necessary in that situation, and it almost cost Manitoba a goal, or at least a really dangerous opportunity.
Changes for Manitoba. The goal scorer, Chardo, is off, as is Tommy in the midfield.
Substitutions on for Manitoba FC.
Diego Medina comes on at striker.
And number 9, Diego Medina.
Here's Hillis. Hillis, good delivery, just a little too high.
Yeah, just a bit too high. It's just slightly out of his range, unfortunately. Great idea. I just need to keep that ball down a bit. Oh.
It's good work there from Bianchi, but well recovered.
Big jersey crap there. I'm surprised the officials didn't see it.
I think they tried to play an advantage.
You would think so, but I didn't see any motion from the center. Typically, there's some hand in the air or something of that nature, communication. Player didn't seem to mind as much. It's really soft. I didn't really think there was much of any contact there, at least from the angle that we had.
Chance to send in a cross here. Left-footed delivery from Hilgaldo Maizi. It's a curling left-footed delivery flicked on, but into the hands of Morris.
Almost super dangerous there.
That a throw from Morris over the halfway line by a long way.
I heard he was the backup quarterback for the Stanford football team, too. It's a nice skill set to have as a goalkeeper if you're able to release that, similar to those people that can't necessarily throw it that far, but are able to do a little drop kick, side volley type action that's accurate. It can be...
That throw is usually very accurate compared to a lot of the kicks.
Yes, but it can be a very dangerous way to start a counterattack.
Of Reberty, and foul goes.
We have a winner for the free signed soccer ball. Owen Schultz is the winner. Go down to the gear table. You must be present to win.
I wanted to sign soccer ball.
Who signed it?
I think it's from the team.
Nice.
Owen Schultz on our 2012 boys team.
a good challenge there. Bit of a mess and eventually cleared by Manitoba as we approach 15 minutes to play. Here in Stillwater, it's 2-1 Manitoba. It's been a fun contest to this point.
A bit of a high kick there.
Here goes Andrews.
Oh,
Livingston, good skill there from Prater, and still Prater. Prater into the penalty area. Prater trying to create some space. Shot blocked, corner.
glad he went for the back post there instead of trying to pass it off.
Coaches leaving their subs for now for the Legends.
See if they can make this a little bit more dangerous than the last one. They've been the better side in the second half. They're due a little bit of an equalizer here, hopefully.
Cross comes in, headed clear. Prater gets it back out wide. And it'll be another corner. Another chance here for Gibbons to send it across.
Over to the St. Croix Legends Instagram page and vote for your St. Croix man of the match.
Do they have the announcers be man of the match?
Yeah, I thought we should be nominated.
That should at least be in that list, right?
Been on the air for 3 hours today.
It's a great, he's got a really nice shape to his service. Unfortunately, that one was overhit, but really has, it starts out very close to the end line and really cuts back sharp as it approaches the front post. So it's very difficult service for the goalkeepers to decide to try to come out on just because he doesn't know where it's going to end up. So just get that ball down a little bit and we might be in a business.
Bianchi swings it across.
Oof, almost could have been an amazing touch, a worldly touch from that assistant coach that's on vacation on the bench there.
And player down injured for Manitoba.
Yeah, he's the one who got struck with that cross, if I'm not mistaken. Took it kind of in an awkward spot, I would be willing to guess. Oh, Manitoba. Sorry, I saw the Legends player bent over.
Manitoba player there on the far side.
Cramp, maybe?
Most of these players have been out there all 76 minutes. And for the college guys, they don't come into these seasons in match shape necessarily. They often have a short spring season, but they're trying to be at their peak when they return in August.
Again, like we talked about with the WPSL women's game a couple hours ago, you know, it's come in, get some matches, return them to their college programs in one piece with some experience and a little bit of match fitness, so it's a little bit easier for them when it comes time to play in the fall. So it's really the goal of the setting. USL 2 does a great job of setting the standard for leagues in the country, especially at this level.
Ball drilled across. Well blocked out. Prater's dropped in really deep here to pick this up.
Yeah, it's a good tactic for a 6. You know, it allows you to push your center backs wider to help with that possession, and then you can also slide your outside backs much higher up the field. And then what you're looking to do is tuck those wide forwards in to kind of create some odd-numbered situations.
Donovan trying to get onto it. Does keep it in play, but then Barker makes sure there's nothing happening.
Yeah. So yeah, when you typically see a 6 come down in between the 2 center backs, that's really the concept behind it, is trying to get those outside backs higher, and then we're trying to create almost even numbers across their back line.
Anderson plays it back to the keeper. Under 10 minutes to go. Looks like one sub is getting prepared for the Legends.
Ethan Anderson, another one of the UW Eau Claire contingent that's on the group.
Good cut inside from Andrews, and that's a great ball in behind, and a CB rules offside.
Oof, that was tight.
It was a hard run to track as well. He was darting across.
Looks like Eric Bloom is leaving the game.
So change at right back. Looks like just a like-for-like swap. Bloom is off. He's had a good game. Been a contributor both offensive and defensively.
Substitution on for the Legends.
Looks like Jones. Stu Sane, UW Milwaukee.
Number 58, Eric Bloom.
Good work there from a CB rule to pick it up.
The other consideration is I believe Eric was on a yellow.
Yeah, it could have hurt as the counterattacks ramped up at the end.
Always good to get fresh legs on, but that's also a consideration when it comes to the decision-making process of that.
Prater tried to find something that wasn't quite there. They do well to just force Reveco to slow up.
Yeah, driving him across the field at an angle versus allowing him to dribble forward, penetrate into the final third.
They do get the cross in this time, and Medina not able to get anything meaningful on that.
Their crosses have definitely been a bit cleaner. They seem to be able to almost get somebody on the end of them every single time. Legends have struggled in that regard just a bit. A lot of their crosses go unconnected, unfortunately. Or at least not have gone unconnected tonight. Not to say it's a consistent thing over the course of the season, because I have no frame of reference for that. But this evening, unfortunately, they haven't seemed to have found a way to connect on those in a way that they would like.
Hillis. Blocked out. Big tackle, but fair according to the referee.
Nathan Donovan continues to have a tough evening. He's been challenged in every aspect, has had a hard time getting on the ball, just because I think Manitoba have definitely put some emphasis on making sure that he has his touches limited this evening.
CB Rule and Andrews have been able to do a little bit more from those wide areas with all the focus on Donovan. This player down here injured for Manitoba.
Couple substitutions as well for Manitoba. Looks like they're bringing in 3. Final 6 here plus stoppage. We'll see if Legends can do something to have an impact, change the current score line.
should add about 2 minutes that.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're looking at 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage at this point in time. So got about 4.5 left, plus a couple minutes stoppage to try to find something.
Andrews, Hillis, trying to get something going here. And Manitoba player here down. Andrews turns, cuts inside, trying to find space for a shot. Does find space for a shot, and it's well saved. Really quickly down to his right-hand side there was Barker.
Yep, found a nice little window. Took it on.
St. Croix Legends on Instagram. Place your vote now.
Cramp or something.
Trainer being called out once again here.
He's still focusing on the player that's on the bench over there.
So they make the substitution. He comes off on this near side. And the trainer will work his way over.
Not sure he is. The coaching staff doesn't seem to have any level of concern either. Think he's just going to sit there for a while.
Beautiful evening here in Stillwater. Very scenic view of the trees surrounding this Pony Stadium here. Chance to try and break away, and they do get it out wide to Donovan, able to keep it in play. Constable tried to flick it to a CB Rule, who I think was offside.
Yes, yeah, and he knew it right away.
But St. Croix won a free kick. Chance to send another one into the box.
Don't forget to stick around at the end of the match. Head down to the field and get a free poster and player autographs.
It's a little bit too much loft on that service. Oh, here's the trainer.
Trainer in the golf cart.
I'd have sat down too if I knew I was going to get a ride.
Prater thought about the long shot, decided against it. About 30 seconds plus stoppage time left.
The two Manitoba players are upset because they walked all the way around to try to help him up.
They will be getting a lift back.
Oh,
As
come on.
Jackson did, or Andrews did well there, but in the end, good tackle. CB Rule able to pick it up. Tackles flying in every which way here.
5 loves to go to ground.
And then eventually really well won there from Prater, and chance to send another cross in. We're into stoppage time.
See if this service can be dialed in, and maybe we'll find something here.
It's tough range, got to be a good touch, and just a little heavy there. Had the dip required, but
the runs weren't quite on in the right spot, so it was a great ball.
they send it the other way and headed only as far as Morris. Manitoba looking to hold on here. They've parked it in this second half and done so relatively successfully. Foul there. Hillis. Sane, Constable, and then cleared. And that one will be a free kick for Manitoba. Bit needless from a Legends perspective.
Definitely been a tale of two halves today. Maybe intentionally by the Manitoba team in terms of the way that they wanted to approach the second half, but they were definitely, you know, slightly better over the course of the first half. Sort of sat in a little bit in the second, and we've seen the Legends carry a good chunk of the play in the second, but really haven't been able to generate the opportunity they're looking for.
Free kick comes in, Morris catches.
Not really much danger.
Morris gives it the long throw.
It's quite the toss.
It's got height on it as well. Sent in behind for a CB rule here. And it will be a corner. Will Morris be up here to join them?
He's looking.
Everybody but Morris, it seems. Maybe the last chance here for the Legends to get something out of this game. They've played well, but Manitoba have held on well. It's through everybody. Question of a push, and they do call it eventually. And it'll be another chance to send it in. This is a good position for Gibbons.
He definitely impeded his ability to play that ball back.
Yeah, certainly a push in the back there.
Not really much you can argue. I mean, the end result was different because of the contact.
It's a good ball. Headed clear really well. Headed back in and out. And then mostly clear. Not sure how much time left in this one. And sent back out for a goal kick, and that might just be that. Still no whistle as that ball travels about 80 yards in the air. And the handball call does go against Legends. And the yellow card's given for dissent.
Yeah. Colton does have a little bit of a temper on him sometimes, and it tends to come out. It was a fairly clear yellow card, and it's definitely an unnecessary, or sorry, it's a pretty clear handball, so it's definitely an unnecessary yellow card.
Sent in. Morris is there. Referee still letting this one go on.
Yeah.
That is that. And Manitoba take the 2-1 victory. It was hard fought. All 3 goals coming in the first half after 2 goals from Latardo of Manitoba. Kevin Andrews got Legends back into this game, but they were unable to find a second half goal. Final score 2-1. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Final score, Manitoba 2, St. Croix 1.